themselves into, and they are ready to earn their spot back. And on top of that too, we start on their map pick Lotus, where, to be frank with you, Team Solid looked like a cement truck hitting Envy over yesterday. And so I'm so curious to see how this one is going to go, because Team Solid, they really could start this one out on the right foot.
See if that truck is going to hit a pedal to the metal just this early. What a fight already for the A lobby. Infiltrator through the smoke. Great things from the Winthrop side. You got to thank Governor. He's really had to step up for Winthrop, especially as that initiator, getting that information so Infiltrator can really hit that pop-off moment that the desk has been waiting to see.
Yeah, now the slow rotation over onto the C site, and yeah, I mean, taking a look at the agents that Winthrop University pick, to me, it just feels like they're moving into more of their comfortable agents, right? Like, you see Moves consistently playing the Chamber, you see Glyph consistently playing the Omen, and that's where a lot of the success on these previous maps have kind of fallen into. And so, while a little bit unconventional here, I think that this is really in their strong suit to be able to kind of win some of these engagements against Team Solid, which is such a heavy momentum team.
Waterfall is going to be barriered off there from the deadlock, and Winthrop changing their strats, but Infiltrator, some things never change, but 1v3, that is tough.
No way.
He's gonna get some help. Call 911, and it's for Team Solid. Finally, an ace for the Infiltrator.
Oh, hey, Desk, remember when you said we need to really see Infiltrator step up? That was it. An ace right on pistol round to get things started here. And I think that this is one of the things that the Brazilian teams specifically have been having some issues dealing with, is kind of this like super fast and furious style that we've seen Winthrop University kind of fall back and default on, specifically just enabling Infiltrator to just take over so much space on the map. But of course, you know, you look at the history here. Yesterday, Team Solid lost every single pistol round to Envy, but they always won round 2 right afterwards on that bonus. So we're going to be seeing the buy-up come through from Winthrop University, but this is not a free round by any means necessary.
Guardians, including that Phantom, really got to give credit what credit is due with Governor on off the beginning to get that first blood, and then the C's to give that ace to Infiltrator, and you got the morale going early. You got the boys energized, and now Winthrop completely changed the pace. I think they've really humbled Team Solid just off the get-go. So, and they have pistols, so they don't have to go anywhere.
Yeah, it's so slow and careful right now for Team Solid. Last time around, we saw them just kind of, like I said, just bulldoze, look for that team fight, but a lot more patient play this time. Winthrop University, when you look at the composition specifically on their attack, you know the two people who are always going to be trying to get space around the map is going to be Moobs, going to be Governor, and then the rest of Winthrop like to follow suit, depending on wherever they get that space. Glyph's calling has been immaculate based off of the information they get.
And Moobs is just part of that win condition for Winthrop, as you pointed out. Now the Prowler up close, revealing if anyone's holding the corners, headlock, nets, and it just sends Ali fishing. Now he gets that first blood, and Winthrop have set up camp. They got the sonic sensors in deep, the barrier at staircase. Team Solid don't have a nice route to go through, just hoping Winthrop are going to get antsy, maybe push for extra kills. But Winthrop are not a team that get overconfident. They're still very cautious. But Havoc gets a nice shot with the Sheriff, but they don't watch the angles. So now the firing squad's in position. You should see 4 weapons getting into the bonus, depending on what other good headshots PXX could land, as he's been a star initiator that a lot of people have been fans of. But now, looks like they'll just go down with the ship.
Yeah, a lot more patient play coming through from Team Solid. Definitely different from what we've seen previously from this team specifically on this map. But yeah, they're just going to go down to it. And Winthrop University able to carry over quite a few weapons forward, specifically Infiltrator as well, carrying the Phantom up. And yeah, they're getting things rolling. They're feeling nice and comfortable. Usually we see Winthrop University start a little bit slower and then they tend to heat up. But I mean, just off the ace from Infiltrator just to start things out. Like you said, building up a lot of momentum to really just pull their heads back into this game against the home crowd, mind you, because you know all the Brazilians are going to be cheering for Team Solid in this matchup.
Yeah, when the crowd is against you, and then there's a whole different environment on LAN, because it's sometimes hard to hear the certain sound cues in the game when everything's so loud. You got the white noise in the ears too, but Team Solid set the tone in their series against Envy, with Lotus being their first map. But now the tone has gone silent. Another first blood goes Winthrop's way. The chamber will teleport out. PXS is able to try and break in back into B. The spike is down. The whole round has been fumbled.
Yeah, fumbled is a good way to describe that one. Glyph, the last person alive here, might find a timing, but does get shut down by DGZine. And yeah, I mean, that time around, one of the things you can really count on from Team Solid is that all of these guys are going to be sharp as ever when it comes to some of that aim. Obviously, if you set up some of the traps like Winthrop University are known to do, then things can get easier. But if you just kind of take those duels head on with a little bit of weaker weaponry, usually we're going to see Team Solid win that one out. Moves, though, with an excellent pick onto Havoc to start off the round, is really important because Moves has been pretty quiet in the past couple of Winthrop University games, and this is like a key puzzle piece in their map control as well as finding early kills in the rounds.
Moves with the op. Just pulled the trigger too early, and that's the flash that came out from DGZine. On the right side, he'll keep that pressure up on A, forcing Winthrop to now funnel right into the sight lines of Conan. Desk had a lot to say about him. What I do like about him is his survivability. His stats say it. He will live on throughout the round. He'll never be that first death on Team Solid. He'll regroup with the squad, retake around the corner.
Havoc going to be taking first point here. Going to be waiting probably for DGZine to get in position, but just poke and prod and force out some of that utility early on before the retake truly happens.
Reposition there from Infiltrator, one off the overdrive, and the op from Moves is something you have to fear between Solid. But the controllers, the smokes break everything up, and Winthrop just break all the bodies down that stand in front of them. But PXS had a nice angle. He picks up 3, forcing some important repurchases. Can they drop the op? No, Moves drops everyone in his path.
Moves is back, everyone. I mean, once again, like, it was really sad seeing Moves kind of take some of these initial duels in previous matches, just walking out and immediately getting gunned down. And you're like, well, okay, that was kind of whatever, I guess. But this time around, very reliable. But I need to talk about the utility game that is going on here, because from the haunt that kind of flies out there to the sound sensor going off, it lines things up perfectly for Governor to just spray things down with the Odin. And honestly, that sent Team Solid scattering around the site, and when they play the coordinated game, that's when Team Solid is looking sharp. But as soon as that interruption happens, then Winthrop University will just continue to dominate them in the team fight.
You have these mixed buys. You still have a Sheriff, a Guardian on Team Solid's side, and a lot more respect given to Winthrop after how they opened up that pistol, knowing that Haunt can come out of Governor, but much more passive further back. Hold here from Havoc, just relying on the Guardian and that tight angle. But look at where Infiltrator's inserted too, and it kind of even draws out some util from the right side of the map, making things maybe easier for the Winthrop squad to hit C yet again, and DGZine will call that out.
And I love that from Winthrop University. They know how much of a threat DGZine can be, and so let's just make sure that it's almost impossible. Force him back with utility, and then that way you can claim the space without risking any of your lives.
DGZine still has a flash too, so he can enable himself, but it's a backup plan. Winthrop just slide into B, thinking there was a gap there. And Team Solid able to take some bodies with them. The spike hoping to get planted. Rafa, that IGL, wanting for that nice group up. You're not going to see risks being taken from Team Solid. They know the team effort is what's going to win that round. Flashes out, trigger pull. Team Solid didn't see that coming. 2-on-1 though, and Winthrop will convert.
And it's looking good from Winthrop University once again. I mean, Governor just holding so far forwards with the Odin. Yeah, you get flash, that's okay. You just hold that left mouse button down. But you can see some of the mental games right now that Winthrop University are playing, toying with the idea of like, maybe we're going on this side, maybe we're going on that side. So many of these like little pivots that are going on that Team Solid just are not really prepared for. I know that the desk kind of highlighted Rafa being the person who has to kind of manage the macro of like how things are going. Team Solid being that very heavy momentum team off of the back of DGZine. But Winthrop University are doing an excellent job at just keeping DGZine out of the equation completely and then playing a stronger macro game. They look really prepared coming into this matchup. And of course, once again, going up against them previously and suffering that loss, you know they're coming to this one doing their homework.
I think reinforcing C has to be thought of. We have the tactical pause here from Team Solid, just a few more seconds, and how can you help support Conan the best? And how do you kind of execute a bit faster? Because it seems like there's a lot of proactivity from the Winthrop side on that post plant. And I think if Team Solid are just a little tighter on those windows, it'll look a lot better. But yeah, C has been a lot of the hit, even though, of course, there is that pivot from Winthrop. They're working the map. They're trying to find that weaker site. And Team Solid are trailing, but, you know, even in that NV match, Team Solid lost both pistols and still won 13-6. Just saying.
Yeah, it was kind of just like, we lost the pistol. That's okay. Now let's win the next 3 rounds in a row. And that is a little bit of a boom, but NV able to keep their stability in that last match that we've seen Team Solid do. This time around, though, Team Solid coming into this one have the Showstopper as well as the Nightfall ready to go. I think they're really just going to be looking for some picks first before they decide on whether or not they're going to use those ultimates. On the other side, though, Winthrop University have quite a few of their own, quite a few tools at their disposal to really just, once again, use that utility to remove the players from Team Solid so they have a nice, easy, breezy time getting in onto these sites.
Just a lot of the spam through the smoke, so it's already conditioning Team Solid. Okay, you better not sit in that smoke with a right-click classic, a shorty, no shotguns, no shenanigans. Team Solid just hoping to win their one. They got a bit of a crossfire going on too. There's a 3-stack that Winthrop will be heading into. We talked about how they were going to reinforce C, and the Showstopper whistles by Winthrop. They dodge a bullet, they dodge a rocket. And Winthrop still trying to sell the fact that they're going to C, but these doors opening, Team Solid are paranoid.
You can feel the mind games at play here. Winthrop University knew exactly what they were trying to do, and that was to get the Showstopper out with minimum value.
TSS! What was that? Through the slide too, he locks in, locks on, and Winthrop could get thrifty here. This is dangerous, but Team Solid are not able to recover those weapons. The Nightfall. Team Solid think that this is winnable. Both Nightfalls exchange. Now no one can hear or see much, and Winthrop are still holding it down. It's a coin flip of who can win. TSS out of bullets, out of life, and moves. Shows up when you needed him to the most.
The Canadian boom coming through, and honestly, it was really funny because you're going up against the most expensive guns of the game in the Operator alongside the Odin, and then Team Solid are just walking in with pistols. But I just really have to commend Cliff for the calling that has been going on here. Obviously, DGZ doing that is something you can't really fully account for because it's kind of nuts, but at the same time, forcing out the Showstopper so early on, completely mitigating a lot of it, forcing out that ultimate to make it your game. It's just a really good bait out from Winthrop University to make it so that Team Solid have everything difficult against them.
Op v op, but only one will continue in the round, and this is not recoverable for Winthrop, so Moobs gets checked out the door before he could even teleport. Amazing shot from DGZ, really needing to deadlift. Oh, the annihilation fadeaway is crazy from Rafa. Winthrop not getting anything out of that, but they can still try to pincer Team Solid where it hurts, and what a paranoia to the blinds from Winthrop, or onto Winthrop, and now they're really stuck and hesitating on not only how to recover this spike, but to save the round. And Glyph backs against the wall, double swing out. Team Solid, gotta thank DGZ, and his op is still being held too.
Yeah, and at that point, that was all just Rafa with the intelligent play of backing off, not trying to overextend his life there, and then just tossing out the paranoia. It might have been a little bit of a greedy play, like look for a kill or stall things out for a second, but at that point, Winthrop University were all gung-ho about walking their way in. An excellent flick from DGZ, expected from the duelist, but yeah, like look at this. Multiple kills just through that paranoia make it so much easier, and then PXS gets his chance to shine, just walking through and clearing things out just with pure raw aim mechanics. A solid round from Team Solid, as it's going to be the tour de force coming out from Moobs this time. The economy of Winthrop University gets broken, but they still have a couple of tools to work off of, just not a ton. And knowing that DGZ is using this operator now, Winthrop University have to be in full preparation to counter that rifle from getting maximum value.
Now you see how greedy Team Solid want to be. That's why Winthrop are holding these positions towards spawn. They even invested a glyph smoke to kind of change up how they were approaching the Rebel side, where Moobs now won't get as easily headshot. Now the Prowler reveals, okay, Winthrop are still near spawn, so back to square one for Team Solid.
No charges.
And at the same time, that Prowler at least identifies that the sniper rifle isn't necessarily in that location or just around that corner, but giving a little bit of noise to hopefully bait people out from Team Solid to reinforce B. The rotation comes around onto this A site. Havoc, though, right behind Tree, could find an excellent opportunity.
Rafa with the information, but I mean, Winthrop are already at the door, knocking right into Tree. Havoc holds his ground. The spike is down, and Winthrop are in trouble. Team Solid will no longer cower from these spikes. And Winthrop, having pistols, did the damage that they could, and you gotta applaud that. 3 rifles down, and Team Solid, economy-wise, still hold the op too. So with 10 seconds left, Winthrop, Ali could try to get some more kills going, but wiggling around, he'll fall too.
Yeah, that one was just tough at the end there. Like, the spike is so far away. Ali able to find a couple of kills with the Sheriff in the midst of all of that. Moves with a bit of an uncharacteristic miss, but yeah, that first kill onto Infiltrator really just slowed down the momentum. You still see the plan come through, though, on how Winthrop University like to engage with these sites. It's very util heavy focused. And as a result of how that last round went, we're going to be seeing them call that tactical timeout now. I mean, the last matchup between these two teams, it was looking kind of like a slap from Team Solid. But right now, Winthrop University are honestly really pulling themselves right back into this matchup. And quite frankly, once again, for elimination, this is a little bit of a banger between these two teams.
I'm honestly surprised they're pulling out the timeout this early. Like, that's just, now Winthrop are being contested on the site. It's not Team Solid playing for retakes anymore. They are standing up, and there was a big difference of buys that round too, but it feels like at any moment we're gonna get a thrifty. Like, it's still like, it's crazy how close these rounds have been.
Yeah, it really has. And honestly, like, as the players from Team Solid start to heat up, a lot more of that pressure is going to fall onto Glyph to try and make these calls to mitigate some of that aggression. The Team Solid game strat is really just, hey, let's hope our players find early kills in the round, and then the rest of the round is going to be nice and easy for us because they're going to have to crunch without all their full util on it. And Team Solid does take a little bit to heat up, and as they start to heat up, we need to see Winthrop University start to counter that a little bit more. When it comes to just that raw aim, raw frag mechanics, I think Team Solid, once again, come out on top. So it's up to Winthrop University to play that brain game better if they want to win out this map.
Who cares about brain when you got Braun? Like, Infiltrator's just full aggro down the A lane, trying to really utilize that Viper wall against them. And it's a trade. Infiltrator lives on. Now you know where the op is, though, if you're Winthrop, so you gotta try and pressure that. And now wanting maybe a quick exit out. They don't want to test that op. They want to go for B, but Team Solid more aware of it this time. They even preemptively threw the hunt. So Winthrop are being funneled into the Team Solid sightlines. And it's just a back and forth, and Winthrop just out racing them to the punch. And now Infiltrator stole the op from Team Solid, and he'll be the tip of the spear for this post plant.
Yeah, and honestly, the double fake back after giving the information to DGZ, perfect here. Infiltrator missing that shot as Moobs watching backline.
There. He's always got your back. It's consistent as ever. Winthrop have been that dark horse in this bracket. Now they go up against Brazil's best. Infiltrator, the sideline, they even getting shot through the wall. What a read from Team Solid. Wait, Conan with the angle. But he's at 5 HP, so he has to win that 1v1, and Moobs is holding the angle. Taps the spike, and the crosshair lands, and Moobs clutches.
Yeah, and Moobs is going to walk away from that one. But once again, just the read coming through from Winthrop University. And at the same time, like, you know, I credited Glyph earlier in kind of playing for that outplay, but it was pure mid-rounding and just awareness of what might happen here from Infiltrator to, once again, just dominate all of that space, clear the sightline all the way back for the team to allow the plant to come online. When it comes down to these, like, macro plays, the strategic depth, Winthrop University still, once again, a little bit better than Team Solid as they find themselves 6-3 3, moves up to 12 kills. Once again, a bit of a return to form, which is looking really nice.
Dijazine just out in the open and couldn't teleport out. That's an opening for Winthrop to work with, and Rafa trades, but now PXS has to absorb this space and try to get a good cutoff here. The Headshot Alliance make it 2, and Team Solid have been very good at getting these multi-kills to make these rounds in their favor. This is insane.
Planted.
As Spike goes down, Governor in a 1v2 scenario here. Haunt 15 seconds away. One more kill, though, will net the Nightfall as Team Solid group up.
And he wants to try and be on site as best as he can, and that's where that experience comes into play. He's not even going to reveal his footsteps. Team Solid don't know he's in this corner. And now it's a deadly game of Ring Around the Rosie, but Governor is the king of the hill. And depending on the timing, Havoc finds it, and Team Solid get the defuse.
Wow, and Havoc with just the flick around, the split-second decision-making, as at the same time on the other end, Governor was looking for that one as well. And so Team Solid, they're starting to build their base a little bit more. They're feeling a little bit more stable here as things are slowly clicking a bit more. Infiltrator kind of going nuts with it, but Rafa holding the ground, and then PXS just kind of 1vxing. These hero moments are really the point of contention that Team Solid need to make happen. The Des talked about how DGZ tends to be the big person who's going to gain a lot of that momentum, you know, race the team forwards. And sure, DGZ always going to look a little bit flashy, but a lot of these other members can do the exact same thing. These guys can aim, these guys can shoot, these guys can find the kills to help rally the rest of the members up so that they can do the exact same thing. So this next round, Winthrop University, 3 ultimates online. Ali has another annihilation. Wasn't that successful the last time we've seen it come out, but hopefully this time might be able to fish somebody out of the position as a Glyph is looking to use that global teleport to try and find some info, probably.
That Team Solid don't want to have these very forward positions like Dijazine did last time, and even without him, like, the team is still succeeding. So although you may think that's all the eggs in the duelist basket, there are multiple threats on the Team Solid side. Now deep into stairs, Glyph doesn't get to see much. The Team Solid are already rotating to the right side of the map. Got a long flank from Rafa. IGL won't be part of this equation. Winthrop hoping to subtract it. The fadeaway, the 2 shots to the Outlaw. There would have been more blood on the floor if there were more bullets, but Winthrop still making this winnable, but it would be up to Governor in a 1 versus 3, not looking as likely. But still, Winthrop killing as much as they are with just sheriffs is still commendable.
They just gotta ran it down. We're like, you think we're going on site? Well, joke's on you. We're gonna run into your spawn. And so once again, DGZ with the Outlaw able to find 2 kills right off the bat. But still, let's see how Governor wants to take this one. A 1v3 scenario, trying to get ahead of the curve, but unfortunately, Team Solid, they're already onto the site.
This is a legendary wraparound, and Rafa has it all lined up, goes for the strike. Another day at the office for him. And look at where all those red X's are. Like, such an interesting rotation for Winthrop. I mean, they have to be stacked together because they got the pistols, but they were really trying to throw Team Solid for a loop. Now we got 1 round left in the half.
Yeah, it was really looking like they might have been able to come away with magic. DGZ probably like, what the heck? Why are they all here? And then thankfully PXS, nice and close by, is able to at least pick off 1 more, allowing for that additional time for the wraparound from the rest of the team. But yeah, classic Brazil style. They just group up, make sure to retake together, make sure to play together, and then just win out that numbers advantage. Winthrop University, they started out pretty hot. Team Solid heating up as well. 1 round away, closing out this first round. Is this going to be a bit of a util combo? Try and net some people. Let's see if Rafa gets caught.
The annihilation. Ooh. If he would have had like an early prowler from Governor, that could have been combined, and moves. Just loses to the off there. You know it's on the right side of the map. Showstopper from Havoc, and he gets kidnapped. Ult for ult, ban for ban, and it's Winthrop in a 4 versus 4 with Spike still in hand, but the options are now looking limited. You have a Viper's Wall in B. Stepping up to is Rafa on the left side of the map. Smokes kind of obscure both teams, and then you would have to clear through the right side of the map where last time you saw it was not. So difficult round for Winthrop.
I feel so bad for Havoc. I think that's 3 showstoppers now that have gotten 0 value. The counterplay coming out from Ali as soon as the rocket gets alive and just yoink out of the air. Goodbye that weapon. It's just so painful for Havoc, who honestly has not been having quite a great map so far, but still, it's going to be a clean reset across the board. No more ultimates available unless DGZin finds a kill. And on the other side, Infiltrator just went away from having the overdrive too.
And the delayed push from Winthrop. Now the op is gonna show face, and Winthrop had a lot of their ults nullified. It's been huge for Team Solid to remove those win conditions. The overdrive, you just gifted it to the duelist, and what a quick shutdown from Conan. It's all up to the op, and it's all up to the GOAT. The 1 versus 3. He save as many of the bullets as he can, but that's a butter knife. And Glyph doesn't have a paranoia. Really no util for Winthrop to use except the one final smoke. And the clone won't even be shot. So there's nothing for DGZin to work with except just walking in to a trap.
You're kidding
There's a
me.
blind PC check. What was that? Dimensional drip is just to look cool. And he gets to just watch this last round go in Winthrop's favor and take everybody down with him.
Yeah, pull down Mr. Worldwide. Just make sure that Governor knows what's kind of coming to him. And yeah, Governor smiling in the midst of that round. So we get to see Winthrop University. They take that 7-5 here. As once again, I've been pretty impressed with a lot of these protocols to try and play these mind games, fish out these ultimates, fish out this utility from Team Solid very early on. It's like that, like step forward, you know, push out a little bit, bait all that out, and then back off. And then Team Solid have to just kind of play that patient game. And, you know, it's working out well for Winthrop University here.
It's been a battle of the ops, battle of the minds, 7-5 for Winthrop, but I heard there's some celebrities in the crowd,
Aqui a gente
so
não tá com
let's go
qualquer
see.
pessoa não, entendeu? Certo? Quero todo mundo fazendo muito barulho pro Darlan Cunha, ator, deve conhecer ele, Cidade dos Homens, Cidade de Deus, um monte de coisa. Amigo Darlan Cunha, Brazilian actor, you might know him, a huge body of work, including City of God. Amigo, da onde que veio essa paixão pelo Valorant, cara?
Cara, há pouco tempo, há 1 ano eu jogo Valorant e tô acompanhando o competitivo agora. Me apaixonei, é o meu jogo preferido.
I asked him where it come from, this passion for Valorant. He said he's been playing for a year, watching the competitions. E aqui, obviamente, torcida pra Team Solid, né? Mas quem do 5 aí, quem que é o favorito?
DGzinho, né?
DGzinho.
É, os cria do RJ.
I asked him which one is his favorite player. He said DG, they're from the same city. Amigo, seguinte, se eles ganharem hoje, você volta amanhã que é pé quente.
Amanhã e domingo, hein?
Fechou, então bora pra segunda metade que vai dar nós.
It's so cool to see all the fans show up in the crowd. We got Brazilian actors in here. Oh, I wish I was in Brazil right now, Marks.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy. I'm always a little bit surprised who turns up for like Valorant events, right? Like you never expect Ben Affleck to be at VCT, but
And
you know,
K-pop
that's
idols?
the world we live in.
We've had that too. Oh my god. And then it's like the Valorant pros are like fangirling over them, and then them fangirling over them. We're all united by our love of Valorant, but we'll see who will still love Valorant after this game, because Winthrop are just barely ahead 7-5.
Oh no, don't do them like that. Like Team Solid lose here. It's gonna be, the crowd is not gonna be too happy about that one, that's for sure. The last remaining Brazilian team up against all of North America, all 3 seeds of NA, kind of making it into this playoff bracket. And once again, this is an elimination match here, as we still are on Lotus. That's Team Solid's map pick. And so they honestly stunned me with how good their Lotus was yesterday, but it's coming a little bit quieter thus far. Now that they swapped onto the attack though, this is where I think they tend to thrive a little bit more. And I'm expecting this is going to be a fast and crazy play coming through from them.
Yeah, dreams end here, but you could be living in a nightmare after the Infiltrator ace on the last pistol. But Team Solid, you know, pistols are just not their round. They didn't take a single pistol against Envy, but they still dominated the rest. Just give them a gun and they'll know how to shoot. But Team Solid approach. Prowler reveals. Ali still gets 1 for the road, so still worth it. But DGZ, no one steps in his path. Then you got this lurk going on for Conan. That's just kind of to distract Winthrop.
Yeah, and Spike finally going down here. Down to this 3v3, but importantly, DGZ still alive in PXS who's been looking pretty sharp on some of these other rounds. Glyph Infiltrator and Moobs a little bit more on the flank, looking for their opportunities to try and strike the site.
Glyph in that one, he won, but the swing not well timed, and now it's DJZ's turn for an ace. I don't think he'll get it. Moobs is on the other side of the site, and even Team Solid are looking to give it to him, but PXS steals it away. And DJZ happy with that one. See, Team Solid can win pistols.
This is one of those moments, right, where like you remember back when DJZ was on Loud and just like Loud not doing as well as everybody was kind of expecting, and then suddenly, oh look, DJZ on the stage somehow walked away with 3 kills, and it's crazy and it's madness, and we're being treated to a lot of those moments here with how DJZ has kind of been playing in some of those like single opportunities. You know that he's always going to be good for it, even though he gets swung by multiple people, which I think is just one of those things that makes that player so hard to counter. Moves though on the other side of Mound. 2 more bullets in that Headhunter as Rafa actually finds that first kill.
Wow, Moobs is not able to escape, and now the spawn gets locked down there by Conan, so Winthrop kind of went for the Hail Mary and just end up in the red zone, not the good kind anyway. And just Team Solid, you know, I know sports guys, but Team Solid winning that pistol may mean that they can come back and even get a lead back.
Oh man, yeah, I mean, should be able to close out this round here. DJZ having that Phantom, pretty so close to the Dimensional Drift as well, but on the other side, Governor does have this Bulldog Glyph kind of playing a little bit counter to the push moving forwards, but I imagine they're just going to group up here, try and drop some of the weaponry that Team Solid currently have.
Governor is going for a long flank, not through the breakable door, and I don't really know if he has time, and that's why he's kind of stepping it up. And Conan with a deep flank watch, and they may have heard Governor's footsteps and are going to decide to turtle up more on the site, so gonna be awkward timing for Glyph, and he may just want to go down to the spike. So Governor, I think his main objective is just go kill, not win, go kill. And Glyph, I think he's on board with that. DJZ is visiting the ghosts. Call him the Ghostbuster, and Governor will not be spooking anyone on the flank.
Are you kidding me? The right click also goes off as well from Glyph there onto DJZ, and DJZ has like a couple of seconds to just flick around and immediately taps his head. That's the reflexes of that duelist there, and you know it's looking a lot more sharp now. And as these rounds continue to move forwards, like a lot of that turn up that we were seeing from Moves, from Infiltrator, it's a bit more quiet this time. More consistent players are starting to show their hands a bit in the form of Glyph as well as Ali, just still consistently finding those frags just to kind of slow it down. But Havoc going in faster, gets blinded up, and Moves finds that first kill, stopping a lot of that momentum.
And I love that support from Moves, because he's been getting picked off, and he's usually in these solo, go for a pick, teleport out opportunities, and now he's got a flash, and that's what allowed him to secure that kill. And Team Solid, gonna see if that's all they have left in the tank, and Glyph spams through the smoke, removes a big win condition from Team Solid, and that would have been the Dimensional Drift. And Winthrop very happy with how this round is going. There's a deep lurk from Conan, and he's already shaking things up on the right side of the map.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy. Walks away with 10 HP, but stays alive, which is really important to allow this Viper screen to come up here. So safe passage all the way back into the spawn, as we get to see the spike transport around, but Ali's been caught.
Oh man, just as he threw that barrier, yeah, just an awkward spot. He's got teammates, but I don't know for how much longer. Winthrop, a better teamwork at the end of the day, and just when you thought Team Solid were going to grab a lead, Winthrop are back in the driver's seat.
Okay, first of all, Ali with a big smile on his face there, because they threw everything in the kitchen sink against him, trying to find that kill. But thankfully, Governor comes just in time with the Odin in hand to provide some of that covering fire. Makes it a lot more possible for Ali to stay alive and still find PXS in the midst of all of that. Kind of unbelievable stuff. And to start it off, like, yo, I swear, every team after this is going to be doing those drop smokes that Glyph is so well known for, because every single time the drop smoke happens, it's almost a guaranteed kill coming through as Havoc flies in again.
Oh my god, flying, that's for sure. Team Solid to 6 feet under. The round has barely started, and Winthrop just came in swinging, fists out. And DJZ the last one left, and it's Winthrop wanting to get ahead of this round after maybe knowing that DJZ has the Dimensional Drift, and you don't want to get him set up.
well, he's gonna try and take this anyways. Thinks about it for a second as another drop smoke flies through, but 3 people watching is a tall order.
Yeah. Not able to save the gun, and even after hearing the Odin, still tries to test those waters, so now it's going to be about the long game. It's going to be a long-term investment of how many guns you can keep and the economy that you want to build up for the long road, and Team Solid is not able to keep up the momentum from the pistol.
Yeah, and what's like crazy about all of this is like you can see all the pieces kind of working together for Winthrop University. Odin spraying from Governor all the way down there. Glyph, meanwhile, goes for a TP while they're also distracted. And then while Glyph is able to walk into the back line, then Infiltrator slides in. Once again, a very rehearsed strike coming out of that A site, and it just slows all the momentum down as Team Solid find themselves onto a save. They've got 2 Stingers here and 3 Sheriffs. Still have DG Zine's Dimensional Drift, and to be honest with you, it's been looking really good every single time that we see that Yoru kind of hop into the other world. So let's see how they want to counter it. Glyph holding that paranoia, waiting for a contact play to know when to toss that one out. While Team Solid, they slow things down quite a bit on this round.
Yeah, deadly duo on the left side of the map there. But just the presence of an Odin just makes the A site way less sexy. But hey, Conan had eyes and ears all over. And they tried to pull Winthrop to the left side of the map. Sonic sensors is what Ali's going to rely on. Dimensional drift still available. If you can get close range, that Stinger is going to pack a punch. There's already a barrier, so Ali knows what to focus on. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Ali got hit by the paranoia. Team Solid around the seas. You're not going anywhere. Team Solid just advances the team, but the counter. The nets! Oh, it just gets Team Solid at the heel. And the defense lives on. A fantastic job from Ali.
Ali, my goat. Like, once again, when people talk about VCT teams scouting things out in tier 2, trying to pull up their players to go on and somehow win champions in the case of energy, like, Ali has to be one of the names up there. This time around, just spinning his mouse around, trying to stay alive, finding multiple kills, dodging, ducking, diving all throughout traffic to stay alive in the midst of all of that. It still walks away at the very end with 3 kills is kind of unbelievable. Team Solid are not able to capitalize on him in that A site, and that has happened multiple rounds in a row now.
Oh my god, the ping, the Odin. Oh, the nade. I thought there was going to be so much more damage. Dimensional drift, the clapback. This Team Solid race, but there's also a barrier blocking off Ishazin's health there, so he's not going to want to take risks and be the hero. They want to be the Avengers. They want to be together.
Oh man, that's so smart from Ali. Oh yeah, you want to rush in on us? Would be a shame if the team couldn't follow you. And then the dimensional drift pretty much goes kaput. Yeah, sure, you were able to get a little bit of space, but you got nothing for it. You have to back off now. You have to reconsider your strategy. And just that one single piece of utility negates that entire ultimate from DDZ.
A lot of good ultimates, especially on the B side. If Ali, this is going to cover so much of the site. He does get into position.
Spike planted.
Welcome to my
Team Solid, ooh, they set up their base. They got a fortress of smoke, and it's the Viper's Pit. And Winthrop, ooh, something on the net there. Ali could just go for the annihilation, but may want to conserve it. This is a difficult site to try and take hold of. And even extending out of it, the perimeter watch from Dijazine is solid. And Winthrop have to address that. Ali steps up for the 1v1. Glyph starts to pick apart the sides. Dijazine collects another kill. You cannot stop him. Team Solid, though. Conan can be dependable to protect himself. And now there's just no time, and Moobs needs to keep the op.
Yeah, Moobs running away from there. You see Team Solid scurry their way across the side as well. Knowing how close their economy is to breaking, they have to keep those guns alive into these next rounds. But once again, when it just comes down to the macro game, Winthrop University definitely look like they're coming out on top. They've got so many of these fun little set strategies to kind of foil a lot of stuff, but then it just comes down to DGZ. Always going to be good for a duel. Always good to win the 1vs, and when there's no more utility to try and flush this player back, then it's just going to be impossible to make anything happen to retake into that pit. So, Team Solid, they stabilize a little bit. Havoc, showstopper in hand. Surely this time around, we're gonna see that thing get a couple of kills here. A little bit more pressure, if not zone things out a little bit. But at the same time, 3 ultimates on the other side. Ali ready to grab the rocket right out of the air if the cards work out that way.
Showstopper, no one's home. Annihilation. Blinded. Still, TSS gets collected, and then you have the Nightfall thrown in. Counter Nightfall. Both teams trade ults, and Team Solid have dropped the spike.
Down B.
And they've dropped this whole round. And Winthrop will head up to 11 soon, unless we could see a miracle get pulled off here by the IGL of Rafa. Goes and collects the spike, and we'll head to the perfect site to plant it. But he's actually not gonna go for the plant. It's all a fake. It's a ruse. But man, the trades from Winthrop are solid. And they still hold on.
Man, this is looking like a completely different Winthrop University than what we saw them in the previous matchup against Team Solid. I mean, obviously, you know, the post-match interview, Ali was just like, yeah, you know, we just weren't really playing like ourselves. And then, like everyone knows, they went on to 13-0 9Z the next day. So, you know, like they've really pulled their heads right back into this one. And what is very important here is they're not playing scared of Team Solid. They know how good this team can be, and they are rising to the occasion here. A fantastic job from Winthrop University thus far as a Team Solid. As this game continues to stretch on, you gotta wonder how many more different ideas they can throw at the board here, because you know what, things are not looking so great for them on their map pick.
Team Solid just have only won 3 rounds in the second half on their attack. When they trade ults, when the chaos ensues, it's been really hard to stay locked in. And the desk was kind of talking about like, oh, when's Infiltrator gonna hit that pop-up? You know, that stride, that prime that he was so known for online and challengers, and it's such a well-rounded roster now. Like, and they fix their mistakes so quickly. Something like Moobs getting picked off, not able to hit that teleport in time. Now he's not giving up those first bloods anymore. And Team Solid have to really rely on Dijazine to kind of pull off these multi-kills and to have that firepower that they need to try to have a comeback here.
And, you know, the comeback has to start now. Winthrop University looking like they should be able to get onto map point here. Given the fact that Team Solid's economy not looking fantastic. DGZ, though, Guardian in hand, and we've seen some crazy thrifties come out from Team Solid before. And so this is going to be a lot of pressure.
Yeah. But because of that step up, he has to use that teleport rather than just kind of playing the corner. So that's one less thing that Team Solid have to worry about. But then there's still that annoying Odin over at the A site. Winthrop have definitely been working on this.
Going up.
Real sketchy for Team Solid with all the smokes in place. It's an obstacle course, and Team Solid are still committed because they don't want to test that off. But you're just testing the raw firepower of Infiltrator. They'll even go and give him a high five. This is what we've been waiting to see from our star duelist. A 4K for the Neon.
Oh, Infiltrator, don't you know we're playing on the old patch? You can't just crouch and walk around and somehow find the spray down. Not quite yet, and still makes it look so easy. I cannot understate the amount of value that these meshes from Ali have been having. This deadlock utility is completely flabbergasting Team Solid at some of the start of these rounds. Like you see, they've got an idea, and then immediately the barrier mesh goes down, and it's almost like frustration across their faces. It's like, well, I guess we can't go C now. There goes our whole entire game plan. And they haven't done really anything to adapt. And so, Winthrop University now on map point, ready to flip the script against their previous loss to Team Solid in a 2-0 fashion.
Just hasn't been an answer for the op, the Odin, except finally getting moves before the teleport comes out. Speaking of that, a bit of a spy check there from Glyph, using the old checks out where the attackers still are. Havoc creates an opening. The red carpet down on B. Trades, though, favor Team Solid. And being able to remove this op to force the rebuy. Maybe even the Odin if you're lucky. Team Solid, it's not over yet.
Yeah, that time around, they just more or less have free reign of everything. And at this point, like Winthrop University, they don't really want to give anything up. They've got that operator, got the Odin in hand. They don't want to potentially have to buy those ones back. And so Team Solid, though, does have to play careful here because, unfortunately, they don't have a full amount of utility, too. We actually do see Conan find Ali all the way on the other side of the map, but Governor is just going to keep this Odin alive in the back here as Rafa and Conan are going hunting.
Man, Winthrop are so rich, though. This is going to take a lot of rounds for Team Solid to hope and puncture that, to burst that bubble, because Winthrop are right on the edge of winning the map.
That was really funny to watch. I'm not gonna lie. You're like, oh boy, here comes the creep up. This is gonna be a crazy rifle kill, and then the sniper rifle bullet just flies across, and you're like, oh, okay, yeah, I guess he's done there. But honestly, Conan finding that kill is huge onto Ali, because that makes it so that Team Solid have a lot more room to, you know, walk around here, see the weaponry that's available, shop a little bit in order to make sure that their economy is going to be nice and good this time. DGZ having the operator in hand. See what Winthrop University can do. It's a lot of spraying just at the start of this round as Havoc goes exploring onto Seaside.
Team Solid may have found that weaker site. They ended up at B. They kind of have these early rounds to pull fights on either side. See how eager, see if they can punish moves. And then B has been a good hit so far, especially when Team Solid seemed to sense a 2-1-2 setup. It's like Ali wants to help reinforce that with the barrier.
Also, I think this is a good read from Team Solid after that tack timeout. See them just playing a lot more fearful around the smokes, because this is where Glyph has been farming. And so they're paying that additional piece of respect, not losing anybody unnecessarily, and that makes sure that that bulldozer can be a lot more powerful on entry.
Someone has to be a sacrifice to this op if you were still committed to A. Maybe that Prowler was just to sell the fake. They'll have that 5 versus 3 on the C site. Paranoia still available there from Glyph. He waits for the perfect timing. Although the C's could be used from PXS along with the nade. Doesn't hit the corner, but the headshot does. And Havoc breaks in. Showstopper at the backside. Splashes Infiltrator on the wall. And he even gets the kill too. Havoc stays composed and stoic. And it ends up being a B plan after all.
Wow, in the midst of all of that, I was like, yeah, they took the C site. Life should be good. And yeah, like you said, it is going to be a B plant after all. Moves, just watching it, able to find Rafa. That's going to alert the cavalry now as Conan's so close by. And yeah, we'll take away the operator here. And it's these little micro adjustments that we're seeing from Team Solid that are taking away a lot of these like tricky plays from Winthrop University. I talked about the drop smoke earlier, but that really is like just a small little adjustment that is keeping their players alive, and then they're able to execute their game plan exactly how they want to. And finally, a little bit of justice for my guy Havoc there, able to find someone with the showstopper and kind of put on a little bit of a show on that C site, staying alive in the midst of all of this chaos. And so an excellent round from Team Solid as they're looking like they might be able to pull back into overtime. And Winthrop University this time will be calling that tack timeout.
Yeah, you do not want to choke at the finish line. Not on the biggest stage and not on an elimination match. And you get to see the end of the round to see if maybe Team Solid picked up the op, but I would assume Winthrop have enough credits to probably buy another one, because even though it's not getting like 1,000 kills, I don't even know if the last 2 rounds it's gotten a few. But it's just the threat that it creates to kind of stop Team Solid from even wanting to push that A site. So we'll have to see where Moobs ends up, if he wants to repurchase that and kind of what site he wants to hold and not make it too obvious, because then there's also the Odin that can be purchased. And
yeah,
the threats on the perimeter has been really hard for Team Solid to deal with.
Yeah, and this is actually something too that I think Team Solid has been doing a good job of keeping in check. Like, we watched Moobs walk away with absolute murder at the start of this map here. Able to just kind of pinch those offsides, find some early picks so early on in the round. And as time has gone on, Moobs' effectiveness has kind of decreased. And I think that that is a good read from Team Solid, making sure to punish that chamber, kind of solo holding some of these weird, awkward angles. And yeah, that has really made it so that it's a lot easier for them to get what they want online. Team Solid 10-12 now. Bit of a weaker buy from Winthrop University as they come out of this timeout. Infiltrator does have the overdrive if things start to go their way.
The offensive op, the offensive Prowler, and just clipping Moobs? No, okay, he's still fine somehow. Bucky, though, at the front door. Team Solid and still advance through the B. And this may just be a difference of Sentinel choices when you have the Chamber, you have the Deadlock against the Hyper Offense, the Double Duelist of Team Solid.
Over there.
Who need to be worth their choice. Now Team Solid definitely working this map to see what picks they can get, what looks the best.
Moves basically getting the Kane's era treatment. You haven't been hitting? Okay, here's a shotgun. Yeah, just play around the corner. See if you can make magic happen, and then when you're feeling it, then you'll find what you need. Havoc, though, just on the other side, spots that out, and actually will climb that kill, and nobody else from Winthrop University is home, so it should be a clean site take.
In the post plant, good util, especially from TSS, but now getting a little too antsy. Now you know Winthrop are right around the corner. An Infiltrator has the overdrive. He's ready to unleash. The Prowler still revealing this. TSS maybe trying to hit a good seize. An Infiltrator gets stuck. The timing of Team Solid to silence Winthrop from the potential win. And Havoc, it's his turn in the ace spotlight. And wait a second, Team Solid are not done yet.
Havoc coming back. Once again, very quiet at the start of this round, but that time gets an ace and honestly looks so clean from it. I highlighted how nice Winthrop University's utility usage is, right? Like when we talk about Team Solid, what we expect to see is all these guys fragging out of their minds. It's going to be fantastic. But this time around, I'm so impressed of everything that's kind of happening. Havoc can't even believe that he got that ace there. But once again, just the utility usage, the traps being set up, the fact that the paint shell's fine too, is just off of great reads from Team Solid to shut Winthrop University down. This is going to be the last round in regulation here. Winthrop University have that buy up. An Infiltrator did use the ultimate last time, but all things considered, that is not an ultimate that has immense value really when you've got all rifles in your hands.
And Conan, though, has been able to call out how many members of Winthrop are on the right side of the map, which means they can cut into B, which means Team Solid should really try to hit C. That looks like the weakest site. The big threat, though, is Glyph and spamming through the smokes or the paranoia, but they don't know he's not there. At least I don't think so. So Team Solid trying to wait, see if Moobs would step up for one of those picks, because he's been known to initiate for Winthrop. Now the clone and the flash actually it gets shot, but it doesn't affect Governor. And not having Dijazine in this round could be the nail in the coffin. Havoc still has the up though, and Nightfall expecting an A-Loppy fight. And Team Solid, you have them cowering, you have them revealed, and Rafa's still gonna step up. Because you would never expect that, right? Oh, the paranoia, Glyph! The captain, the leader of this ship! Puts Team Solid to bed! And it's 13-11 for Winthrop on Lotus!
Just as Havoc pulls the showstopper out too, Governor up on his feet. An excellent round coming through from Winthrop University. I have to comment on Glyph there quickly, because Glyph using those drop smokes, feigning the presence